Staccato P getting sent back. You guys have lots of comments. So let's read them. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I haven't sent the gun back yet, by the way. I'm going to. I'm sure we'll find out more. Anyway, first comment. This is why I like Taurus. They would never bother you with such a fast, burdensome response. They would allow you to wait 2 weeks before responding and make sure you're ready before they refuse to service your gun. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't buy Taurus stuff. For never was a story of more woe than Ben Steger and his Staccato. I don't know if that's true. I've certainly had worse catastrophes. Ben, I and a friend both had this happen to our Staccatos. Seems like this is a regular issue. Annoying, but they replaced the slide stop and it was a quick turnaround. They even replaced the magazine springs and put the newer gen followers in the mags, in all the mags, and sent 12. And I sent 12 plus mags. I was pissed I had to send it back. Yeah, but I was impressed by how they handled it. That's very fair. Very fair. Since then, I've switched to a SIG 226 Legion, single action only, and I prefer to the Staccato because it's less sensitive to cleaning. Okay, that's where I have not had a cleaning issue with the Staccato P. Okay, next comment on the Staccato P. It would lock back reliably if you direct milled the optic. Certainly, maybe, probably. I'm sure that's not true, but it is funny to say it. Okay, I'm with you. The idea of sending a gun off super annoys me. Yeah, it's super annoying shipping guns. Like, it's not made, fun or easy. Bought a 686 competitor years ago from the performance factory that failed to eject shells. I was super irritated, but they fixed it. Okay, yeah, get it. Also, the reason I avoided putting dots on my Glocks for years, I just didn't want to send them off to be worked on and play the waiting game. Also, yes, I don't like the direct mount people, how that seems better to them. It's like, should I send the gun off now to get it milled and get it back? Which, okay. Or should I just buy an MOS and mount a plate on there and maybe 40,000 rounds down the track, it comes off and you just screw a new one on. Even in that circumstance, I still feel like I come out ahead, not direct mounting it. And a lot of the direct mount gang's not going to like that, but that's how I feel about it. Anyway, finally bit that bullet a couple weeks ago. So while I wait, I put a couple thousand rounds through that 686. That also now has a dot. The last couple of weeks, it's helped my trigger pull tremendously, working through double action at increasing speed. Found the silver lining. I'm excited to apply that discipline to the Glocks when they come back. All this thanks to your videos on fundamentals. Well, thank you. That's good. Hey, Ben, I'm a huge fan of the channel, and your early Staccato P videos convinced me to get one. I ordered and received my P within a week or so when you got yours. I've roughly over 1,000 rounds through mine. I just ran into the same issue the other day. I'm about to start the process of sending it back as well. I find it very interesting that we got our guns both around the same time and we're having the same issue. Yeah, I might have been a little bit coy with the first video I put up. Based on the conversation I had with the Staccato guy. Again, he was very nice. It was like, hey, what's the serial number range? And then it was like, yeah, there's an issue we had. There's a run of slide stops that may have this issue. So I don't think this is shocking to them. I think they had a run of bad slide stops is what happened, which is lame, of course. Okay. Next count. I think Ben is a little annoyed, guys. He even scratched his ear. All jokes aside, if I ever have to send a gun back, I'm going to be pissed. 100% agree. And it's yeah, it's annoying. I don't like it, but it's on balance, in fairness, they sent me an overnight label. It's going to be real quick both ways. I mean, how mad do you want to be? There's this one weird trick you have to do in 1911s and 2011s that you have to do in order for the slide stop to work correctly. First, you have to pull the slide back almost all the way, and you will see this little half moon cut in the slide. Then you push the opposite side of the slide stop. It will pop out right. Once you have, oh my God, never mind. No. These guys telling me to clean. Once the slide's all the way up, get a rag and shop towel and clean the gun. It's not that the gun's dirty, not the issue, for sure. You're right, Ben. I judge a company by their products and customer service. And as far as warranties are concerned, how a company takes care of issues says everything about that company. I'm glad you do this kind of content because not a lot of us who own these guns, who own these types of pistols, put as many rounds through them as you do, where you get to see firsthand how not only the guns handle the use, but also the companies who make them handle the problems. Great content as always. It's just like, look, I know that a lot of you guys like get really, a lot of people are very price sensitive for very good reason. But to me, if I'm buying like an expensive product, like a brand like this, or like I walk into an expensive restaurant, if I walk into a Michelin starred restaurant, there's a different set of expectations. Now, I would not expect if I get a lemon Glock that they're going to send me an overnight label and I send it to them and then they send it back to me like, again, overnight. That's not my expectation. All right. But with a product like this, that is my expectation. That's the way it ought to be. So yeah. Okay. Next one, the duty rated pistol. Okay. I mean, I guess, it's still like, the gun still, it's not bad with a functioning slide stop. That's in a sense, that's even makes it more annoying, right? Because it'd be more fun if the gun failed catastrophically, because the result for me is the same. It's getting sent back. So anyway, okay, my question is, why not just run to the local gun shop and buy a slide release and fit it to the gun yourself? I understand that it's important to let a company do their job with customer service and all. Okay. All right. Just so you guys know at home, that seems like a pretty complete comment. Like he answered his own question, but there's a lot more that follows. Here we go. But if you don't like sending your gun out to get fixed, then don't. I do all my own work on all my own firearms, except custom coatings like DLC. If you've got half as much skill smithing as you do shooting, then you should be fine to do your own work and fix your own guns. Building and fitting your own personal 1911 or 2011 is one of the most rewarding experiences you can give yourself as a shooter. Get a CNC machine and make all of your own parts, frames, slides, and grips. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested in that. Nerds can do that. You nerds have fun with that. Now, I'm very capable, I'm sure, of fitting a slide stop to the gun. I did take the slide stop out of my other gun, put it in there, not shoot live rounds with it, but just hand cycle it, and it locked back every time. I believe, based on the conversation I had with Staccato, that I got a bad slide stop. And when I talked to the guy, he's like, hey, we could just send you a slide stop, but it'd probably be better if we look at the gun. Okay, now, fair enough. Where my Staccatos sit, and I like this, by the way, I have not fucked with them. I haven't done anything. It's like they're bone stock. And that's a great story to tell if something else happens down the line, some other type of warranty issue. Because I don't want to just fit a new slide stop myself and then 90 days later, something else pops up. Right now, my story is, I can just say, like, I didn't do anything to the gun. Y'all built the gun. And, when it goes back to them, they'll put a different slide stop in it. And again, like everything that happens, like they're the ones doing it. And moving forward, I would like for that to be the story, both when I deal with Staccato and it's better on the YouTubes, right? Like, I'm not doing anything to the gun. They're the ones doing it. Okay. As someone who watches gun tubers before going to work, my professional opinion is a part broke or wore out, essentially part failure. This assessment has been given free of charge. I think the part was defective, but we'll see. I think, next one, I think a slide stop is such a simple, cheap piece to replace that it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. One deviation I would like to see is if Staccato said, we're pretty confident that it's just your slide stop. We can do one of two things. We send you a new slide stop and hopefully the problem is solved. And if it doesn't work, we can take your gun in. Or two, you send your gun in, we get it fixed. Yeah, that literally was the conversation. Literally. That's what we talked about. And that was what happened. Okay, a reply to that. Ben has previously said that he does not work on guns. He would rather send them off to professionals. I do personally agree with you, but I also enjoy tinkering with things. Look, I don't like working. It's not like I've never worked on guns. I just don't like it. It's not for me. And it's way better to have all of these issues. It's like, this is just not my problem. That's way better place to be. I mean, to be honest, I don't even do my own laundry. Like I don't do a lot of things that functional adults do for themselves. I don't do. Other people do them for me. I'm like an overgrown man-child in a lot of ways. Okay, next comment. This is actually a very good response from Staccato. All right, thought exercise here. What could they have, like at this juncture, what could they have done better? What would it be? You tell me. Ben, you should get the poor man's 2011 from Live Free Armory and see if it competes with the Stegler. Okay, cool. I don't even know what you're talking about, but that sounds great. All right, why not swap the XC and P slide stops to know for sure? I did do that. I didn't shoot the gun that way because they're fitted to the gun. That's not a good idea. Okay, Staccato is the white V6 Corvette of guns. Okay, Corvettes don't get driven. If you've noticed, like my guns get shot. Okay, plunger tub or plunger spring might be worn out or broke. Problem with 1911 types is it requires a smith to fix them unless you are a real nerd. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the parts are fitted, right? Like you got to know what you're doing a little bit. Next, the reply to that, you have it backward. The plunger tube's spring pressure on the slide stop prevents slide lock before empty. When empty, the mag follower spring tension overcomes it. It's a 5-minute or less part to swap. Super simple for anyone. No smith is required. Just punches. Heck, a lot of the time you can do it with zero tools. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. Everybody likes to talk about how great staccatos are for this reason or that, but the truth is that it just takes time, experience, and maturity to realize they aren't the marrying type, if you know what I mean. Okay. That's a nice opinion. Okay. Here we go. There's another one. I've had staccatos and atlases. All have had issues like this and others. From my experience with both of their customer service, this is just the way 2011s are. Especially after using them enough. It has been my experience and expressed both by Staccato and Atlas customer service that 2011s just require more maintenance. I mean, maybe. Whether it's the slide lock, springs, magazine followers, mag springs, dirty mags, and I mean real usage, not 3,000 rounds of minus flawless. That is not real usage. 10,000 and beyond especially. High performance cars are always being maintained. Yeah, I mean, it's true, especially of the magazines. I mean, the magazines work, but you do have to clean them. For example, I'll drop my Glock mags in the sand and I don't clean them. Maybe after a long period of time, I might take like compressed air and blow the magazine out or something like that. But I don't take them apart. I don't have to clean them. The Staccato magazines, they're not like, it's not like the old days of 2011s where as soon as the magazine hits the dirt, you're unloading it and like taking it apart and brushing it out. Like I watched that for years at USPSA matches. And I'm just kind of looking like this 2011 shit is stupid. Like I'm just not interested in that experience. Like the more modern stuff, the 9mm, like 2011s now, they run way better and the magazines are way better. So it's not like this. It's not what it used to be. I mean, from my point of view. Okay, I work on my own stuff. I've had too many issues trusting other people with my firearms. It's just not worth it. Okay, I mean, fair enough, but I trusted them to build it, so I'm going to trust them to fix it. Okay, next one. It just cannot keep up with a Glock. Sports cars going back to the shop. Okay. All right, next, the reply to that is, I had to RMA a Glock, and it took them a month to get it back to me for a pretty straightforward fix. Like, yeah. I got a lemon Glock one time. Okay, next one. Your gun is throwing a tantrum because you haven't swapped the Holosun for the sight mark yet. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. Those plates, like those optics are mounted so securely on the Staccatos. It's like, I don't want to disturb that. I like that. All right, let's keep going and see if there's anything else interesting in here. Next one. Have you tried swapping slide stops between guns to see if this still happens? Yes, I have. Okay, is this an issue with the Ps specifically or just QA issue with hand fit or built guns? I think it's a bad run of slide stops is what it is. That's what I think. Next one. Did you clean and lube it? After 2K without cleaning, I started to get failures to lock back. It's happened 3 times now, but it's inconsistent with what mags won't lock back. One time it started to fail on every mag. Like, Yeah. Yeah. I did do that. And it's like, I've not had these issues with the other gun. Like the XC has not had any lockback issues. It doesn't matter how dirty it gets. Okay. This is a big issue for those of us using staccatos for IDPA matches. Is swapping the slide stop enough to fix the problem? I'd rather just buy a new slide stop out of pocket versus the hassle of shipping the gun back. Yeah, again, it's fitted. So it's like, I would rather make that their problem. Okay, I have two spare staccato slide stops. Pretty sure it's a drop-in replacement to fix this. I'm pretty sure a lot of 2011 people would tell you not just to drop in a slide stop. Okay. Next one. I don't think for a competitive shooter having the slide lock problem matters. As a competitive shooter, you have to reload before you run out of ammo anyways. I'm not sure if the Staccato is a premium gun, since as a 2011, it's one of the cheapest compared to other 1911 double stacks. Well, compared to guns, it's a premium gun in my view. Like there's tons of margin in these hose. There's in the XC that I bought, there's thousands of dollars of margin in there. Okay. They can afford to take care. They should be looking after the gun. And as a competitive shooter, well, formerly a competitive shooter, I like having a functioning slide stop because then when my gun runs out of ammo, the slide locks back. Like it doesn't always go to plan, my man. That's what a slide stop's for. Next one. Sounds like the gun is dirty and is gunk built up around the slide stop notch. Clean, oil, repeat test. Yeah, I did that. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Ben, does your CZ Shadow does the same job as this Staccato costing and breaking less? Okay, the English isn't great there. However, I've got a hot take for you CZ fanboys. In my experience, the Staccatos are less hassle than the CZs. I'll let that sink in. Staccatos less hassle than the CZs. Now, why would I say that? Because when you get a Shadow 2, like literally nobody is going to shoot that thing stock for competitive shooting. You're going to modify the magazines. You're going to get base pads on there. Get longer tubes. You're going to, but for me, all of my guns are going to get reach reduction kits. I'm going to get, red dots mounted on the MOS, all this shit. The guns that I have are more of a nut roll than the Staccatos. The extractors are more of a hassle to deal with. Like the extractors come out on the Staccatos or any 2011, really, they're way easier to deal with in that way. All right. The frame's easier to take apart. And the extractor's fitted and everything. Like I haven't had extraction issues with either gun. I got a lemon CZ one time, which let's not count that. But after, 15, 20,000 rounds, you got to start cleaning behind the extractor with the CZ. It's more effort. And then after that, like changing springs in there as well. In my experience, the CZs are less reliable than the Staccatos. So I don't know, take that any way you want. And that's also based on observations in courses as well. Just watching dudes shoot, like the Staccatos tend to run better than the Shadow 2s. Now, granted, this is a competitive shooting nerds who are always messing with their stuff. But that's what I've seen is that the Staccatos are less hassle and work better than the CZs. Even though the CZs work pretty well, they're a little bit more of a pain. Okay, try to get a Bull Armory for comparison. I love it when people tell me to buy more guns. I'm all for made in America, but they have to deliver quality and not overcharge me for the branding. I want to pay for a gun, not a name. And if Staccato is getting it wrong, we need some competition to slap them back in line. It's like, okay, I haven't been super impressed by the Bull stuff that I've seen, just so you know. All right, I don't use lockback followers, would never know if this is an issue. Cool, good for you. That's great. All right, isn't a new slide stop real cheap? Why not just put one in? I mean, you take it out to clean the gun too, right? Oh my God. And the reply to that, part of the problem is he doesn't do maintenance. I mean, I have cleaned the gun, man. All right. Let's see if there's any more. All right, here's a good one. Haters, see, I told you it sucked. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. All right. I hate to send guns back, but Staccato has some serious problems. Extractors, ejectors, sear, terrible quality for the price, in my opinion. I'm like, okay, yes. Okay, here we go. Chuck Taylor used Glocks for school guns or loaners. For those big dollar 1911s would throw temper tantrums. His first report on a school Glock was one that had 294,000 rounds through it at the time when the trigger spring broke. He popped the new one in and continued to perform its duties as a loaner. His next mention of the gun was at a point where it had about 700,000 rounds through it, zero malfunctions. I believe the Glocks are reliable. I've had good luck with the Glocks as well. I don't believe this story. I'll just tell you that. I don't believe that. Take it any way you want. Don't believe it. All right, the sky is falling. Try cleaning the mags and even the gun. Oh my God. We shoot in the same environment. My practice, let me just tell you guys something about dirty guns. And this comes, like one of my friends actually engineered and helped build guns for a while. He said the same thing to me. And in thinking about it, I agree. You guys blame dirty guns for way too much bullshit. Way too much. Guns should run dirty. They should run dirty. Okay? This bullshit where like your gun jams, like you shoot 300 rounds and there's a stovepipe. It's like, oh, I gotta keep it clean there, buddy. Like it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just so you know, the guns should work when they're a little bit dirty. All right. There we go. Other people are annoyed. Anyway, there you go. There's the comments. Interesting discussion. As always, I appreciate the comments. I love chatting with the guys. It's always a good time.